Hi, it's Betsy at iStampC, and we're going to make an embellishment holder from index cards. Yes, and if you watch my video that I posted the other day on upcycling this metal box that I got at the Dollar Tree, um, I said, what else can I create? And again, as I've shared with you in the past, I look at what I have and how can I turn it into something purposeful and useful. And I said, gosh, you've had these really useful and pretty clear stickers in your stash. Why don't you store them in a way that will encourage you or prompt me to use them? So I said, you've had these as well for the longest time. And I said, what can I do? And then my mind starts to tick. And I made these little holders with these label tags that I've used um, to label my embellishment containers. And I know that the white doesn't really cooperate that well with my camera, so I want to slant it just a little bit. But to show you here, um, the effect is really cool when you can put these one on the top, the other one on the bottom, and then also you can put them on the back. And then what I'll do is put them in my little metal box so I can keep this nearby on my craft table here that is loaded with a lot of stuff right now, and I need to make space for this. But anyway, I want to show you how cool that will be, at least for me. And I'm thinking, well, hey, I wonder if other crafters and creators like myself would find this really helpful, because I know that there's different techniques, not techniques, but different ideas like books. But for me, if I put these embellishments in a book and I put that book on my shelf, it's not going to get used. So I'd rather have a box, a metal box, or something that I can adorn and keep it next to me on my craft table so that I know, hey, that's what's in there and I need to use it. So without further ado, let's get started. What I did is I took, I'll put these in the top here, and I've already sorted some of the stickers, and because of the glare, I'm just going to put them to the side. But again, these are 3x5 index cards, and if you don't have these, you can certainly just cut. I would probably use a sturdier cardstock, 65 pounds or higher, and I would say preferably one 110. And then you want to grab a craft sheet, and I'd like this, I like to use a paper towel, and I've shared this before. I take coffee, instant coffee, dilute that in water, and about a teaspoon and a half, I think, I use of rubbing alcohol, and then I'll just spritz the card like so, and I will use my heat tool Okay, and then once I feel that it's pretty dry, I will use my envelope punch board and we'll line it up in the middle here, punch, and then I'll line it up to the 3-inch, right there, 3-inch, and we'll punch it, and that's how I make a tab. And then I will use my paper trimmer to cut, and here we go. And then I have a little file or index, if you want to call it that way, and I use the corner rounder, and that's how I made this little file folder, if you will. And then I'll take my distress ink and distress the edges. As I said, I've got all these really cool embellishments from different creators, from Etsy, Ko-Fi or Ko-Fi, and just, kits that I've had for over 15 years when I had an online rubber stamping store. And I said, I use them, but then I have them in different containers and whatnot, and it's just, I just need to figure out a better way to store them. So I just thought of that. Not sure if someone else has already done that, but I said, hey, let's share, because sharing is caring. Okay, so then once I've distressed the edges, because your girl here loves to distress edges, I peel this right off. And you've got to be careful not to apply them at the same time, like one on top of the other, because I will show you the big mistake that I made earlier. So one of these labels is facing upward, and then the other one faces down. So you've got to be mindful of that, and you've got to remove the second one. And these are 1.2 inches by 4.4 inches. And I'll list these below. And like I said, I bought these last February. Almost. I've had these in my stash for a while, but like I said, I use them to organize my embellishments. And then what I want to do next is show you that these stickers are so cool, and I've been hoarding them. And I said, girl, you've got to just put them in a better organizational type system so that I will be prompted to use them. And I thought this was so cool, because as I said, if I have to make a book to put my embellishments, I won't use it, because it's just how I process things. How do you store your embellishments? Do you use a book? Do you make your own book? I have a bind it all. I have a cinch. I also had a coiling system from like 15 years ago, but I gave it to a local girls club in my area, and they were so happy to receive it. So is that not cool how you can store those? And then on the back, as I said, I'm going to do the same thing, and I want to be mindful that one goes up and the other one, which is facing down, you want to turn it around and put it facing up so that you can put these in your little organizer here. But is that not cool? I like that. So I will put this one here. And I think that somehow I put these guys on the other side, so I'll figure that out later. But I love the fact that I have done, I've already put, it's like 40, it's 40 pieces, 2 of each. And as I said, I've had these for over a year in my stash and haven't used them because I had them in one of these plastic envelopes. Okay, these plastic envelopes. So the next thing that I want to share with you is, and this literally just came to my mind a few minutes ago before I started filming. I know it's like how I think and how I create. So what I want to do is I want to label this. I'm going to move these top ones here, and I'm thinking of using one of these Zig Memory System Millennium. This one is 03. And I'm going to put, just want to make sure that I'm in frame here. Berry Love, TM08. And I got these in Amazon. Can you see that? Awesome sauce. And then I'm going to put these back. But I'd love to know, how do you organize your embellishments, whether it's stickers, especially stickers, and labels from different digital shops that you have purchased. And I will do the same here. I will write Berry Love, TM08, Amazon. Okay. Put that there. This one goes here. And then it'll go right into the box. Love it. Okay. And I would say, I don't want to show you the white side, but don't throw this away because you can absolutely use this. You can cover that and create something with it. I'm sure you know what I mean if you've been crafting for a while. But if you're new to crafting, believe me, recycle your trash. Then, what I wanted to say earlier, what I was trying to say earlier is I said, oh my gosh, but wait a minute. You can also use these, they're like passport holders or ID holders when you go to either trade shows or conferences for work. They'll give you like a name badge, and you can slip it in here. And then there's like, it'll have some string. I think you know what I mean. I don't know if these are sold at the dollar store, but I've had this for over 15 years because I actually bought these wholesale and sold them when I had my online store. And I would use alcohol inks, and I would slip in artistic trading cards and swap them out with my friends online. So this is something that I did years ago, and it was so much fun. So let's say you have bigger embellishments that you want to store, and I want to just take a few out and show you that, well, actually these are a little small, but let's say these guys here. Let me put this one back because I have another idea that I put together a little while ago as well. Let's say these flowers, which are clear stickers. And let me remove the white so that it minimizes the glare. These are deco stickers, and it's 40 pieces of these stickers. And I said, okay, what if it's going to be a little challenging to put these in the label holders because they kind of fit, but it might be a bit of a pain to slip these in and out. I said, well, how about if you slip them in here, and this way it'll be easier to pull them in and out. And again, I'll sort these by flowers for shoresies, but I want to do the same, the spritzing on this. And what I will do is grab my mat, and I'm going to mute you for a second so that the heat gun won't drive you crazy. Okay. And then, now it does wrinkle just a little bit, but it really doesn't bother me. If it does bother you, of course you can iron it, but that would be too much work for me. So kiss. Keep it simple, sweet sis. Is my motto. And I want to, oh, wait a minute. Did I want to do that? Hold on. No, I did not. Whoopsies. But anyway, let me put you on pause for just a second and I will be right back. Okay, so what I did is I used the coffee stain solution that I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to round those sharp edges. And then I was thinking of two things. You can either use brads or you can use eyelets. But I'm thinking of doing back to back on these. So I think I'm going to use an eyelet, and I'm literally doing this like live. It's something I just thought about a few minutes ago. So I'm going to center it a little bit and grab my eyelet setter. Funny story that I want to share. This past June, it was our 30th wedding anniversary, and our son Michael bought tickets for his dad, because my husband's birthday is also in June and our anniversary is also in June. And he bought tickets for both of us to go visit him in Florida. And that was so sweet of our son to do. And can you believe my eyelet setter that I've had for over 15, 18 years was taken away by TSA because it was too big and they thought it would be a potential weapon to injure someone. I know. Like, are you serious? What is going on? And actually, if you see the pictures of, do I look like a terrorist? You just can't make this up. But anyway, I was so bummed. And they said, well, you could ship this to yourself, but it's going to cost you a pretty penny. And I said, nah, I'll just use a gift card that I had, and we'll buy another one, which was kind of, I mean, in a way I was kind of bummed because the one that I bought is definitely not the same as the one I had for over 15 years. I don't know what happened, but anyway, that was so disheartening, to say the least. Has that ever happened to you? Because when I travel, I like to bring my crafty stuff to catch up on a few things and whatnot. And I was so bummed that TSA said, nope, this is considered a weapon, and therefore we will not allow this to go on board. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, why? But anyway, it is what it is. So this is what I will do. And so far, it's not bad. Oh my word. How wicked awesome is that, my crafty friends? And then what I want to do next is, yes, your girly girl here, Betsy, loves to distress the edges. Let me know Do you distress the edges or not? I do. It just gives it a little bit of a touch. It stands out a little bit more, and I love that effect. By the way, I don't know if this has happened to you, but I bought these sponges. I know that there's a different name for these, are dauber. I got these on Amazon versus the one that I bought years ago from Ranger. And can I tell you, Ranger has just wicked awesome products, but their daubers were just falling apart at the seams. And this one that I got from Amazon, very little falls out compared to the ones from Ranger. Maybe because I've had them for way too long, but I'm curious, what are your thoughts with these daubers? Let me know in the comment section. But my sweet friends, I literally, as God is my witness, I thought about this like 5-10 minutes before turning on to start filming this. And I said, you've got to just do it. It is what it is. I'm not a professional here. I'm just a crafty chica. Having fun with these awesome embellishments and crafts that I'm blessed to have. But friends, is this not so cool? Look at that. So now I'll do one more to show you. And by the way, I think I've shared this before, but if you don't know this, purple, violeta, is my favorite color. And where is, oh, actually, let's do this one here. And the reason why I coffee stained the white index card, because the glare of the white just doesn't, my camera doesn't like it. And even there, I don't like that glare. But is that not cool? And then this goes, boom, right into my little holder. Now, I also did this on the back. So, I mean, I added another, I think it's an ID holder, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll put these down below. But I want to label this before I forget. And these are deco stickers. And I haven't a clue where I got these. Like I said, I've had a lot of things for over 15, 18 years. And I'll do the same on the back. Deco stickers. And I will say violet. I'm so much into pens. Are you into pens? Like, the finer the tip, the better. Like, this tip is my favorite. My favorite. And I will link these down below. 03. And this is Hybrid Technica. Pentel Arts Hybrid Technica. Love this pen. Okay, so next what I will do is put this aside, flip this over, and I want to show you another thing that I thought of as I was creating. And again, this is how I think. Sometimes I have to pray and say, dear Lord, could you like turn off my my creative flow, because it's like nonstop at times. But these labels, the backing for these labels, don't throw this away. And this is why. Um, if you want to make the, that vintage faux effect, that it's quite popular for those who like to create shabby chic journals and whatnot. So this is something that you can repurpose. And again, this is to share with you. The next thing that came to my mind is, don't throw these out. Grab clear Scotch super hold adhesive. I find this to be the best one. Grab your alcohol ink of choice, and as I've shared before in a couple of my previous videos, always use an applicator. Don't just pour the alcohol ink onto your surface, because you'll probably splatter it where you don't want it to go. And this is how I make that vintage, or that faux, however it's pronounced, kind of tape. And if you want to give it a more of a dramatic effect, use the alcohol blending solution by Mr. Holtz, and then dab it on the top, and look at the effect that you will achieve. And if you think that's kind of boring and you want to add a little bit more jazz, if you will, grab your mixative. They come in different colors. This one is silver. There's gold, and I think there's another one as well. And I'll just put this one like on the corner, and then I will dab it like so. And I'll just blow on it. And the shimmer is pretty cool. Is that not wicked awesome, as we say out here in New England? Okay, so that's just another tip. Now, what came to mind while I was putting together the a file, these tab kind of file cards, is, hey, why don't you add alcohol inks before you actually put it on the file card, tab card, and then stamp on it. And again, I said, let's go. So I took a couple of, and these are embellishments that I bought from my porch print, I believe. Yes. And again, I've had these in my stash for like the longest time, and that's not okay. And I said, put them out, and I will then add them to the, and actually let me grab my trimmer here to cut this one. And then let me quickly round the edges, and I'll distress it later. I'll put this one on the bottom like so. And then of course I'll lay another one, but is that not cool? And I will definitely look this up and add my porch prints and the name of this digital. But these are one of the stamps that I sold many years ago, Art Inspires. And again, this will go in here. Now, I don't know if these are still at the Dollar Tree, but I would run and grab a couple of these for surezies. So next we will decorate the outside of this and the back and also the top. So I hope this has been helpful, and I will be right back. So we're going to decorate the metal box, and I've chosen my Porch Prints digital, and I love this grungy effect. And what we'll do now is I want to use this side of the paper. So what I'm going to do is cut that part off, and I want this to be the top, what I'm going to adorn the top of the metal box. And next what we'll do is we're going to cut a couple of pieces at 2 3/8 to make sure that we're able to cover the front and the back of the metal box. And I'll do one more just in case. There we go. You might want to save this in case you want to make an embellishment. All right. And next, you definitely want to use, I use 2 glues, and I found it to be best. You might have a personal preference. Now I want to align this design. So I think I'm going to go this way, like this. Like that, if that makes sense. So that'll be 3, 2, and 1. So I will, oh, before I do that though, I want to distress the edges quickly. Well, not the edges, but mainly the top and the bottom part of these pieces. Okay. I think I said this is 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. Alrighty. So I will use Scotch permanent glue stick and 3-in-1. It's my 3-in-1 is like my favorite lately, because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room to move things around. versus the art glitter. I think it's art glitter, right? I think so. Yes, art glitter. Once you put that on, it's quite difficult to shift things a little bit. So I'll use this, and then 3-in-1. And I like to put this on the edges because, again, this does give me a little bit of wiggle room to move things around just a tad. And I'll put some in the middle as well. Okay. And then I had one heck of a time removing this from the first metal box that I shared in a previous video. And I said, nope, not going to bother. I'm going to leave that alone and just put the paper right over it. And this is why I like the 3-in-1, because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room to move the paper around like that. Is that not cool? And it's pretty sturdy and it stays in its place. So that's one. I just want to look at this so that it makes sense there. And I'm going to put that one right there. I'm going to press a little bit more here. And I needed to add just a little bit more glue here so that it will adhere like so. And then I was thinking too that with these metal boxes, depending on, what your Dollar Tree store might have, I wanted to paint this white one with a different, like spray paint, but I used up all the spray paint that I had in my stash. And I did not want to go out and buy spray paint for this project, so I said, use what you have. But that's another idea. If you don't like the white or the black, you can buy spray paint at Hobby Lobby or any other craft store. Just make sure that when you use that, you have a well ventilated area because of the toxins and the fumes. But I thought I had this color spray paint, or this one right here, but I did use that up already, so I was like, okay, improvise. So I'm going to put this one right in the corner. And I know I should have moved a little bit more, but I can put a little bit of washi tape if need be. Now make sure that you move the paper down so that you cover that label. But as you can see here, this might open a little bit. And again, I'm doing this live, and that's what happens sometimes. Mistakes will occur, but it's no big deal because you can fix that with a little bit of washi tape. And what I was also thinking of doing is, these folks have a digital with rulers, and I'm thinking of putting a little bit of that ruler right here to adhere that to, so that this paper won't lift. But it might work if I apply a little bit of pressure. But it's good that these mistakes happen live, because As you can see, it happens. It truly happens. So my advice is make sure that you move this paper, the front paper that you're using, or cardstock, move it more to the right so that that edge doesn't become an issue. I think you know what I mean. So I'm going to press a little bit more. And I'm pretty pleased. So far, so good. But if it does open up, like I said, I will put a little bit of that that decorative ruler on the edge there. Okay, and then I'm going to take the third one and measure it there. And then I'm going to cut it. Let's see, cut it right there. I'm going to cut it, sorry about that, right there. So that it doesn't go over or under. And I think, is that the pencil mark? I think that's the pencil mark. Now I'm doubting myself. But I think that's the pencil mark. If not, I will use, as I said, I will use that decorative ruler to cover up any boo-boos. Okay. You can also, I was thinking, if you don't want to use a thick, a cardstock, you can use tissue paper on the metal box. Or if you don't want to use spray paint, you can use a paint that will work on metal. You can also use alcohol inks. So again, there's a ton of mediums that you can use to decorate these. Okay. And now let's put this one. I want to use this side or... Yeah, here we go. Like that. Press. Perfect. How about that, my crafty friends? Not bad. Not bad at all. And actually, that edge is still opening a little bit, so I will keep pressing it. And if it becomes an issue, I will absolutely put either washi tape or that ruler as a decoration. Here we go. Now, for the top, I want to use, this edge here, and this is how I decided on the the actual measurement. I'm just going to stand up. My desk is, I think it's called Flexport, where I am able to adjust it to go up and down for ergonomic purposes so that I'm not sitting too much. It's really cool. It was a gift many years ago. A few years ago, I want to say, from my sweet husband. Yep, here we go. So that's how I trace the cover for the top. And we'll cut this out. I'm sure if you don't have these in your stash, you could use another alternative to store these index cards with your embellishments. How about that? And that will go right there on the top, and I absolutely love that. Now, yeah, it fits perfectly. I'm just gonna cut a little closer to the and I'm gonna move away because the white truly affects my camera, and I don't want that to be so extremely blurry. I'm just going to cut a couple more sides here. Let's see. Yeah, how about that? Let me do a little bit more. Just a tiny bit more. And the other thing too, if the edges aren't exact, that's when the corner rounder comes in handy. Just a tad, if necessary. There we go. And I want to quickly distress the edges. Like so. And I'll do the same here. Apply the glue. And then the liquid glue on the edges. Also, if you don't have a bead to put on the top, you could use a square little block that you can alter with either paints or paper, cardstock tissue to help you open the lid. Just a thought. There's also brads that you could, I'm sure, punch a hole to add as, to help you lift the lid if it's something that you want to do as well. Just thought I would share that with you all. So this is how it looks. How cool is that? And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you see you have a little bit of wiggle room when you use the 3-in-1 on the edges and a little bit in the middle, because that Scotch permanent glue is really good. Apologies. So that is how I wish to adorn this one. I want to keep it simple. I mean, I could add, a tag here with embellishments. I could, like I said, add a bead on the top to open it. But to recap, I wanted to share that I made a mistake with the ID holder. I forgot that I needed to put the part that has the slit towards the top, and I had it facing awkwardly. So I think it was facing, towards the back. So what I did is I used double-sided tape, and I just glued it on the back. And I added the stickers. And then what I wanted to show you is the way I hope to store as many of these small embellishments as possible in this metal box. Is that not cool? So, so cool. And then here's the one that I share where I applied alcohol inks. And I'll finish that as well. And then I was just experimenting. I would probably use a lighter color instead of a darker color. But again, this is for my personal use. And then when I made a mistake where I put this top part facing down, so what I did is I peeled it, and then I took a stencil and I stenciled the background, and then put a little bit of permanent glue stick, and then I just added that so it doesn't go to waste. And I will put these in here, and I will keep this on my desk, my messy desk. But sweet friends, this was so much fun. I want to encourage you to consider making one as well, and let me know. Tag your information or jot your information in the comment section so that I can visit your social media. And again, I hope this inspires you. Thank you for stopping by. And until next time, be blessed.